All right, guys. Today we return to Australia with an Australian Defence Forces combat ration one-man meal for 24 hours. It has a lot of stuff in it. This thing is heavy. We'll get into the individual components, but before I do that, I wanted to mention, this is real interesting, there are some items that are common to every menu, every meal. And you see, it's quite an extensive list that every menu or every 24-hour meal from Australia has all those things in it. And so the thing that makes each individual meal different, this is menu D. The thing that makes this one different are the mains. And we'll get into what those are. But what I'm going to do is separate it out into breakfast, lunch, and supper. Have some snacks. We'll get through it, and let's see what we've got. So what we'll do is we'll get out the things we're going to have for breakfast first. I got my spoon. We got sweetened condensed milk. This is kind of cool stuff here. I think, yeah, it's got the metal cover across it, and then there's a pokey thing in the cap, and you just flip it right down, and then we can have our sweetened condensed milk. That'll go on a variety of things in a variety of ways. We'll show you how that works here in a minute. Our accessory pack. Let's take a look at this here. We have your classic rubber bands. I think that's to hold stuff together, I guess. You know, a lot of this stuff.
You can shoot them at each other.
Well, you can have rubber band wars. A lot of these kinds of things, when you're out in the field, you're going to eat them in the pack. And so then you can wrap them back up and save them, I think. Sometimes they're resealable. But where I'm doing it to show y'all how this works, I put everything out on the tray. So that is a little different than maybe you do it out in the field. Oh, we got Mentos gum, white sugar, a couple packs of that, some freeze-dried coffee. We'll definitely have some of that. Some more Mentos gum, more coffee, tea bags, 2 of those, tomato ketchup as opposed to other ketchup. We have, Tabasco. There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah. Pepper, I like that. And what do we have? And salt. And then finally, we have our Fred, which is basically a giant MRE, or a giant can opener. And that will come in handy later. I'll show you what that's going to go into, but we won't need that for this portion of what we're doing. We've got our napkins, I'm guessing toilet paper, but okay, so they're not an individual, or they're not in one long sheet. Sometimes these come in long sheets. This is individual napkins. We have a coffee flavored protein drink. I have to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. And we're going to do some muesli. So I was told by several different commenters in the last MRE from Australia that they were aghast that the way I made it. So we're going to try it a couple different ways, making it this time, and let's give it a try. All right, first things first, I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning in anticipation of this, so we're going to put in some of our instant coffee, and there we go. That looks good. That smells wonderful. Doesn't say what brand it is. You know, interesting here. Let's take a look here. This was made in New Zealand. That's kind of fun. The British MREs are made from all over the British Kingdom, and then the Australian MREs are mostly from Australia, and some items are from New Zealand. So
that smells really fragrant.
Doesn't that smell good?
It's like, okay. I don't know, maybe it's because it's a slightly cooler day and the hot coffee, it is like a real nice smell.
It does. Let's see.
Kind of comforting or something.
It's not a bad cup of coffee. Man, yeah, it's quite good. Not too bitter. Coffee a lot of times has a little bit of a bitter taste, especially the freeze-dried stuff, but that's pretty darn good. I have it a little stronger in order so that we might add a little sweetened condensed milk. Let's get a little bit of this off our tray, and we'll add some more. Adds a little sweetener to it. I'm not sure how much to put in. Let's give that a try. As you all know, I don't typically put creamer in a coffee. We'll give it a try on this. It's nice and hot, so it should mix up well. By the way, we're in sunny Florida, in the Panhandle actually, but it's cooler out because it is wintertime, but not as cold as it is back home. We're here with Asa. He's filming videos for his YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of him, it's called Ace Videos. You might want to check him out. I'll have a link in the description below. But he brought his mother and I here this trip to enjoy a little Florida weather in the winter. Let's try this sweetened condensed milk in the coffee. You know, if you're going to do it enough. That's not quite enough, we'll add some more. It made it just like a little bit of sweet, but not enough to sweeten you up really good. If you're going to add sugar to coffee or sweetener to coffee, you might as well go ahead and make it a sweet drink. That's my theory anyway. That's interesting. You want to try that? You like sweetened coffees, but
I don't think I've ever had it with sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah, it's a different taste sensation, that's for sure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's
my initial taste is like I'm not a fan. It's kind of I don't know, just not a great
I don't know, maybe it's soured a little bit. Anyway. Well, now we have to add a little protein drink to it, because I had people say in my comments, by the way, I had a lot of good comments in my first actually Australian MRE video review, and some said that I should have added the protein powder to coffee. So we're going to give that a try. I won't add a whole lot, but we'll add enough for that water we've got in there to give it a taste. The idea of coffee protein powder does not appeal to me at all, but we are going to give it a try so you don't have to. Yeah, it's just kind of, it almost gives it like a malted kind of a taste. You want to give that a try?
Sure.
I wish you would. Tell me what you think, because you do the sweeter coffees, that's for sure.
That actually helped it a bit, but it still has that I'm not sure there's any way to make protein powders actually taste good.
There you go.
You can flavor them up to make it palpable, but nobody's going to ever savor a nice protein drink.
Right, exactly. Here we go. We're going to open up the muesli, put it out on the tray so y'all can see this. It's a fruit and seeds muesli. So we've got little pumpkin seeds in here. See, this is cool. I could take this with me, honestly, and just have this almost like granola. I could put the pumpkin seeds, very tasty. Could use a little salt maybe. But then you have the individual pieces. That's probably a pineapple would be my guess. In fact, yeah, apricots, pineapples, raisins, cranberries. Wow. A lot of good stuff there. Well, let's add a little water. It said add cold water if it's warm out, add hot water, or you could also mix some of the sweetened condensed milk with water and pour it in there. But I'm going to, that sweetened condensed milk, it's just not doing anything for me in the coffee, so I'm not going to try it with this either. There we go. That's not enough here. Again, if you do it in the package or in a cup, it's probably a lot easier, but I want you guys to be able to see what we're doing here. Okay, you can start seeing the cranberries, you got raisins. Once you get that little sugar coating off of there, you can really, it starts to color up pretty, and that actually looks quite appetizing. But I do want just a little more. There we go. That should be just right. All right, so we've got dried papaya, apricots, pineapple, raisins, and cranberries, along with pumpkin seeds. This looks really good. That's good. That's really good. All right. There's enough coating on the vegetables, I guess some kind of powder. Must be a little sugar in there. Plus, the fruit itself has real sweetness to it. That's good. Wow. You want a bite?
I'm good. Dried fruit isn't my thing.
Oh, man.
It's your thing. Granola and fruit are your thing, though.
Yeah, not good. That's good just like that. But we could do from New Zealand, some cane sugar. Depending on who you talk to, cane sugar is the devil, or cane sugar is the best stuff on earth. I'm old enough to have seen cane sugar go from the best to, oh my gosh, it's going to cause birth defects and cancer, to now it's back to the good stuff. So corn syrup was inserted in there at some point. The corn syrup lobby got their voices heard a little louder than the cane sugar, I'm thinking is what happened. But I don't trust any of that stuff.
You've seen the full cycle then.
Yeah, I've seen the full cycle, that's right. Everything's good for you in moderation. That's what I think. It makes it better. It really is. This is, the thing about the cereal too, it's going to stick with you. You know, if you're in the field, I'm thinking about all the food that's in this MRE, and you start out the day with this and a good cup of coffee, good grief. This is going to last me till 2:30 in the afternoon. It is good stuff. Well, let's see how many pieces of gum there are in here, the Mentos. Got 3 pieces, so I have enough for 2 for each meal to clean up my teeth a little bit and move on to the next meal. All right, guys, it's lunchtime. Blustery day today. If I was outside again, it would be way too noisy, the background noise. I've done that before and that didn't work out so well. So what we're going to do is get our items out here and let's just start. What I've done is I've taken and I took all the rest of the items that were there and I made a lunch out of them. There's a lot of food in these 24-hour MREs, let me tell you. So we're going to get to a little Vegemite and marmalade, but we'll do that here in a bit. First of all, we have a bar. It's called the Whole Grain Cereal Bar with seeds, including chia. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. I'm thinking that'll be like some kind of granola bar. Yep, there we go. I see pumpkin seeds. Let's see, you've got, oh yeah, it just says seeds to include flax seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, all kinds of good seeds, and then whole wheat flour, oatmeal flour, and brown rice syrup. So that should be a good item there. That does smell good. We'll get some tuna out. Packaged tuna, now you can buy this in the States. This is obviously from came from overseas, but I don't know where it was packaged, if it would tell us anywhere.
It's from Green Seas.
Oh,
I think that's
my
by
bad.
Greenland.
Yeah. Of course, my bad. So I was thinking it was Starkist. That's what we have here. So let's take a look and see what our tuna with oven-dried tomatoes and herb dressing looks like. It's very tuna-y smelling. It smells a lot like a tuna. It smells pretty good, actually. I like tuna sandwiches. I like tuna and crackers. I like tuna pea casserole, much to my wife's chagrin. We've got our bread next. Let's see here. The bread. Looks kind of like a Pop-Tart, the size of it in the U.S., as far as the size.
It looks kind of solid.
It is. It's a
heavy piece of bread.
Smells pretty good. There you go. Now we're going to do something on this. We're going to try just a little bit of Vegemite. You don't need much. It's actually brewer's yeast. So we're going to do like that. We'll set that there, have it ready to go. We have our chocolate ration. We'll open up. Smells like milk chocolate. I like that. Looks like milk chocolate, doesn't it? And another little dessert item. Marmalade right there. And we just, again, these are the punchy things. You just take the little tip and pop through the top, and then we'll pour out some marmalade. That's got a kind of stuck up in there a little bit. Hang on. There we go. There's some marmalade. That's usually some pretty pungent stuff. And let's see. So we've got Chili Con Carne. There's nothing in an Aussie MRE to heat these up with. So I am going to get some hot water going. We're going to heat this up. I'll get some more hot water going. I'm going to get some tea out. We have some tea bags in here. And let's get that going. All right, let's get our tea bag in the hot water. Let that steep a bit. And
what brand, does it have a brand on the tin?
It says Bell Tea. I'm unfamiliar with that. It says it's product of New Zealand. Our Chili Con Carne is as well. It's interesting because the main ingredient in the Chili Con Carne is beef. We've got beef, tomatoes, kidney beans, and then sauces and such. So that's going to be fun to try. Let's see here. Easy open tops on this one. That's kind of cool. And again, if you're in the field, you're eating this, out of the pouch, but that's no good for you guys. You can't see what I'm eating. So the point of this is to share it with you and let you see what we have going on. Now that's a prodigious amount of food. What volume?
Chili.
Yeah. Wow. That looks really good. Man, this is going to be fun. Let's do this. I want to try this bread with this little bit of spread of Vegemite on it first. Again, Vegemite is brewer's yeast. It's been around for about 100 years. They decided they could do something with the yeast extract in the bottom of the brewer's barrels and came up with this. Give it a whirl.
But people historically threw it away.
As far as I understand it, yeah, there's no good, they didn't think of any good use for it, so they just chucked it.
Probably should have kept with that.
Well, the bread, first of all, is a little dry, a little typical of MRE bread. The flavor is decent. That wasn't bad. In fact, I think what I need to do is stick with that because you don't want it to overwhelm. It's if you've never had Vegemite, it's very salty. It's very a strong taste. You don't want to have a lot of it in any one thing. That was the advice everybody gave me. That was just the right amount of Vegemite to put on that bread. So we'll stick with that for now. Let's try our marmalade. Marmalade, we can have that with some tea and crumpets. You can have that on some bread. We'll add something else to it here in a minute, but marmalade is basically kind of a jelly or jam. It's a little bit, not sour, but what would you call it? Real citrusy. That's pretty good. I've taken lately to eat coconut shrimp, and then a lot of times they'll serve it with that marmalade type sauce. I don't know if it has coconut in it, but it tastes like it has coconut in it. That's a good marmalade. That's really a good marmalade. Wow. Highly recommend that. Let's see here. We have cheese, processed cheese. We have our Fred. It's just basically a John Wayne or a P38, but bigger. I know that it's a lost art in American MREs because there's nothing to open like this with MREs, so you don't get the John Wayne anymore, the P38. So it does come back to you pretty quickly, though. If you haven't done it for a while, that's kind of fun. So there is our processed cheese spread. Think Cheese Whiz if you're here in the States. That's really quite thick. Interesting. See how that's coming up there?
Wow, that's really dense.
It's real strong smelling. That's nice. Get a little bit of it on some bread here. There we go. Cheese Whiz in the States is a real mellow. This is a little more sharp, I would say, than what we have in the States. One of the things that I have read is marmalade can be good with cheese. I don't know if that includes cheese spread, but we are going to try a little marmalade with our cheese and bread and pretend like we're having a scone. There we go. This is so cool because you can seal these back up easy. There we go. That's good. That's a fun mix. You've got the sweet of the marmalade and a little bit of a tart along with the sharpness of that cheese. That's a good combo. You want to try some?
No, thank you.
Man, you're missing out there. That's a fun combo. Wow, I'm impressed so far. This has been a lot of fun. I think we should, since we just had a little marmalade and cheese, we should have some tea with that. It's a good looking cup there, nice and dark tea. Plenty hot. Well, that's a mild tea. Man, I'm impressed and I haven't even gotten to the mains yet. Have a little chocolate. There we go. Would you care, sir?
Thank you.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
That's good chocolate. That's a good milk chocolate Real smooth once you get through the crunch. Very smooth.
Melts in your mouth.
Melts right off in the mouth, you bet. That is, wow. All right, well now, we'll go to our chia seed bar. Smells just kind of like granola. All right, well, I'll give you this one. There you go. Interesting texture. Kind of a bouncy, spongy almost. You have to get into it a while before you can start chewing on the seeds and the crunch of the grains. It's not very sweet, which I suppose is okay. I wonder if marmalade would make it taste even better. It's kind of nondescript, quite frankly. Boy, this marmalade, what happens is it's got chunks in it. I better be careful. There we go. You got to kind of squeeze through those chunks to get it out. Man, it's not wanting to come. Let's see here. You know, marmalade makes everything better. I like marmalade. I'm a fan, definitely. Cleanse the old palate. Yeah, that fruit and nut bar, it's okay. I'd probably trade for that for some chocolate if somebody was interested. Or
it's almost like it's just for pure energy. Like they throw all kinds of nuts and stuff like that without regard to like any flavor. It's just like, eat this because it's good for you.
Yeah, that's right. Eat it because it's good for you. All right, so here we go. We'll try the tuna on its own first. Again, the sun-dried tomatoes and spices. Smells good. Yeah. It's moist enough. Sometimes these bags of food, especially fish, they can be real dry. That bite there was real moist. That's important, I think. See that? That's a good chunk, good solid chunk of tuna there. Now, the spices are right. It'll make a great tuna fish sandwich. There we go. Well, we've got it here. We got to try it. Little Vegemite. That's a good solid fish tuna, especially in this. It has big chunks of tuna. It's not all pulled apart. It's got good chunks of tuna. It's a good fish. Try it with some bread and Vegemite here. That Vegemite just gives it a little more salt, a little more flavor, whatever that is. I'll tell you, that was probably the most common comment I got on my last one, was that use that Vegemite to increase flavor, enhance flavors, and if you use it sparingly, that's the way to go. That's good stuff, really good stuff. Cleanse the old palate, try some chili con carne. All right, well, for the last little bit here, you can see the kidney beans, a lot of beef in this. The beef does not appear to be, dried out or pelletized or anything like that. It looks like just little chunks of beef. Wow, that's really tasty. Man, this is a good lunch item. I can taste the individual bits of beef, and it's still beef in the like they chop beef. It's not pulverized beef and then put into pellets and you just chew right through them. There's a texture, a beef texture to that. Spices are fantastic. I don't want any salt or pepper with it. It's good just the way it is. The beans are your classic red beans. There's just a little bit of mealy to them, which I don't mind. Add some fun texture. Bite of bread. Man. So we've had breakfast, we've had lunch. This is a hit. This whole meal so far is just incredible. I'm going to put just a little bit of Vegemite on some bread again. And there we go. Have a bite of the chili con carne with it. That's a little too much. This is already quite spicy and just a little bit of heat to it. Adding the Vegemite to this made it even more salty, that was too much. So I would be eating my chili con carne as it comes out of the package. Put it with some bread. You know, you might want to have a dollop of cheese with it. That would probably be a good idea, especially if you got it out when it was real hot right away. You know, it adds a different layer of flavor, but for me, that chili con carne is good just the way it is. I'd eat it straight up. Cleanse the old palate here, get our bread out, or get our gum out, and wait for our appetite to return and get after supper. All right, we've got things moving and rocking already. I've got tea steeping. We have our chicken Italiano in the hot water heating up already. We're gonna make some isotonic drink and get right after supper. It's coming in cold again and outside, and it's we can't sit out there. It's just too noisy and too wet. This is interesting. This isotonic drink, it's lemon lime, and it is coming out like in chunks mostly. I don't know that I've had one like this before. Well, there you have it. It's like moisture might have gotten into it. Hopefully it's okay. We'll try it here in a bit. Let some, I might need to add a little more. Set up to 5 to 600 milliliters of water. So we'll set that off to the side a minute. Doesn't look too appetizing. Looks like green tea.
That's supposed to be lemon and lime?
Yeah, looks like green tea. But we have some fun stuff. There's so much food in this MRE, I cannot get over it. I'd have snacks all day long. I'd be trading. I think I'd be holding stuff off to the side that was okay, but knowing the stuff that I really wanted, I'd be going after that. That's for sure. Oh. This is called cream crackers, or it says biscuits, and then it says cream crackers underneath it. Got a lot of crackers there. This I kind of held on to the cracker, the biscuits they're called, because there's also called a biscuit jam sandwich.
So do Australians call crackers biscuits?
I think like the English. I'm thinking they do. So let's take a look at these.
And a biscuit is a cookie, what we call a cookie.
Right. I believe so.
Those look like cookies.
There you go.
They're biscuits.
And that's got, it says jam, so it's got a little bit of, it's going to have something in the middle of it there. Interesting. Now we have our all fruit bar, and it's called Tropical. In fact, this has apple puree, apple juice, pineapple juice, mango puree, banana puree, lemon, and there you go. So it's going to be real tropical. Okay, think fruit roll up here. Check that out. There we go. Or tar. It's pretty dark. Again, this is crazy how many dessert things there are. This is a citrus cake. This is probably going to be a lot like our US MREs, would be my guess. There we go. Doesn't look like much. Smells citrusy. And then we have a soup, cream of mushroom soup, and we have instant mashed potatoes. We'll get our water for that here in a minute. We have us a steak bar here.
What's the brand?
It's Jack Link's.
Oh, it is Jack.
It is Jack Link's.
Huh.
Let's give that a whirl. I have an idea here for this, but no. That is so... That needs to be soaked or added to something. I've got an idea for that. Let's go on to so the rest of our desserts here. I'm telling you, there's a lot of snack stuff in this one. These M&Ms, they're made in New Zealand, actually. That's interesting. Oh. Yeah.
Taste any different?
And then we have, that'll be interesting to find out if they do. You'll have to let me know.
No, they're the same.
Okay, and then we have Werther's candy. I love Werther's candy. When I was a kid, that was like a big deal treat to get that instead of the Brock's caramels. We will set those on the side here and have those. In fact, I'm going to have one right now. Yeah, I'm going to eat dessert first. You want one?
Sure.
All on the apple for it.
I like dessert first myself.
They're so soft, and they immediately start to melt. It's not like The cheaper stuff, you have to mash it a while in your mouth before it starts to melt. This just starts to go right away. Oh man, that is so good. A little hot tea.
That is really good.
Man,
That's a really good caramel.
wow. This came with matches. We may have used a few matches in our household here already. That was in the bottom, I think, to keep it from making a lot of noise. But you have your standard ones and then the waterproof ones. However, having said that, these have been pretty difficult to light. Let's see here. I've had...
They don't give you enough sandpaper?
Yeah, there's really not enough to get across it. So that's a fail, I would say. Let me try to put it on top of here, maybe for more stability. No, that's not working.
That's crazy.
And that's been my experience. The first several I tried, is about every third one would light. Ooh, there we go.
Oh, that was right.
It's a sparkler. Look at that. That's cool. All right. Well, that would help to light whatever thing you might have to light on fire, although there aren't any cigarettes or anything like that to have to light. But anyway, that's interesting, but not, at least the waterproof one's lit. Next, we're going to move to our citrus cake. It's very moist on the outside. Pretty nondescript. Looks like brown bread. Smells very citrusy, believe it or not. All right.
Sure.
Wow. Like orange peel, orange rind in there for sure.
That's very fruity.
It's very fruity, not real sweet, which that's fine with me. But if you wanted to, you could put, wait a minute. Marmalade would be the ticket on this right here.
Maybe that's the idea.
Maybe that's the idea. Heck yeah. Let's give that a try. I love these resealables because you can just put it off to the side, have a little more later. I got a big old chunk of something right in the top of that thing. Man, it's not coming out. I'm going to use a one of these undone matches here. Oh, there we go. Now it's coming out. But boy, there's a
Fruit jam.
Yep. You've heard of log jams. We got a fruit jam, huh? There we go. All right. We'll dip a little bit of our citrus cake into the marmalade. Oh, yeah. You want a little bit of that? That is good.
It's good stuff. Sure.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Good stuff, that.
Wow. Yeah. That is good.
Yeah.
Like a refreshing bread.
Yes.
Citrusy
Yes.
and everything.
That's right. Now we'll move on to our jam sandwich. There you go. Check that out.
So these are, Americans call these cookies. They call them biscuits.
That's, yeah, I think so. They're like a shortbread cookie with a paste. It's not like jelly like we get out of the jar here in the States. It's more like a paste. It's good. Would you like to try a bite of that?
Sure, I'll just grab the other one.
Okay, there you go.
I'd like to know the history of why British and Australians call biscuits, and how did we come to call them cookies?
Now we do it opposite because they were there first. That's another great dessert, man. Now we're going to try our fruit bar. Again, it's kind of like a fruit roll-up, but real thick. Oh my!
I thought it'd be way chewier or something. You'd have to really.
You want to try the backside out?
Sure.
I'm telling you, it's like apple gum. That taste?
Well, it doesn't look good at all.
No, not
It's actually
appetizing.
delicious. It's just like black or brown. Black on the outside, brown on the inside, but it's actually really good.
It's really good. That's crazy. Now, I wonder. This is a couple years old, but I wouldn't think that would have turned color. Maybe somebody can tell me if that's how they looked when you first got them back in the day. Wow, fun stuff so far. You've tried the M&Ms. I haven't. Would you like to try a few more?
Sure.
I'll let you grab some. Tastes just like our M&Ms, I'd say. Cleanse the palate here. Next, we'll try these plain, what I would call crackers. with some cheese. Get some cheese out here. This is cheese left over from lunch. Matter of fact, I'm going to try a cracker first here. They say Huntley on them. I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not.
Like a branded cracker?
Yeah, a branded cracker, that's right. So I'll put some cheese on top. Just the cracker, it's like a combination of maybe a saltine with not as much baking soda in it or whatever's in a saltine, and a little tiny bit of Ritz. With the cheese, mwah. Very tasty, very good. I'm gonna get things cleaned up a little bit. We'll get ready for the hot portions of the meal. All right, so what I did is I took the beef jerky, cut some off and put it into cubes, because that is just, it's really hard. It's hard to even just tear off of there. So what we'll do is we are going to take some of our mashed potatoes, which again, with these MREs, this is a slick part of this MRE. It has the resealable, like one of our Ziploc bags across the top, so you can put your water in, seal it off, and let it mix up good. But we're gonna do the visual here. I wanna see it. We'll just pour out most of it, but not all of it. Man, it's even has chives in there. That is very cool.
That's cool.
We have hot water in the old canteen cup from when I was on active duty back in 1980 to 1984. Oh yeah, that's gonna mix up nicely. I wanted a little more because I'm hoping that beef will, the beef jerky will soak up some of that water. All right, we'll set that aside. Now, we'll make some creamy mushroom soup. Interesting, let's see what that looks like. I'm guessing those are little chunks of dried mushrooms. Smells good, even just the way it is. This was about 250 milliliters of water. I think I'll add just a titch more water. All right. Chicken Italiano. This has, first ingredient is tomatoes and then chicken. 30% of this is going to be chicken. And then you've got pasta, onion, vegetables, things like that. So, all right, again, meant to be eaten right out of the package, but we want to see what this looks like. Oh, that's a tomato-based product. I didn't anticipate that. Oh, it's got macaroni elbow noodles in it. That's cool. Wow, check that out. Man, it's got chicken in it. That is going to be a good meal, and it's actual chicken. It's not, molded and pressed together chicken. These are actual chunks of chicken. That is very cool. All right, better let that cool just a bit. Let's take a look at our taters here. We'll put some of those down. We've got the beef jerky in with it. Man, oh man, I'm telling you.
Those turned out better the longer you let them sit.
Mm-hmm. And then the cream of mushroom soup right there. Look at that. Oh yeah. I think we're going to make us a little ketchup too for our potato. Or wait. Oh, I don't think I have to make this ketchup. It feels like it's already made. I was thinking I'd have to mix it with water. Put a little ketchup. We'll put that off to this side right here. Oh, look at that. That's like A1 sauce looking ketchup. Huh. Interesting. Wow. All right, we're going to have some Tabasco. Ooh, yeah, there you go. That's Tabasco, all right. Just enough. Instead of giving you a bottle, just a little bit on the side. Then we have black pepper and salt if we need it. But I think we should get to work here. Cream of mushroom soup first. That's not a lot to look at, but cream of mushroom soup typically isn't. Wow. I could have added a little more water. That's really good. The mushrooms haven't quite absorbed enough water yet, so we're going to add a little more. It's really concentrated, and it is good. I I like cream of mushroom soup anyway. This is, man, it's got some spices in it that'll kick you. It's good, and we'll add that a little more water to tone those spices down, but the flavor of it is amazing. Never had cream of mushroom soup that was powdered. You know, I've always had it concentrated at like Campbell's or whatever, but this is really, really tasty. Very creamy, like you would think. The little bit of greens there added something to it. The mushrooms are spot on. That is good soup. Have us a little of our taters here. First without any beef jerky. Potatoes need some salt and pepper. All right, so now we're going to try a bite with green and a beef jerky. Salt and pepper. Cubing up that beef jerky smaller and add a little liquid to it. That's the way to do it. Wow. I have to say, I've never had bad dehydrated potatoes. They're always good, just a matter of how good they are. And these, with the addition of that beef, that's the way to do it right there. But let's try it with some of the ketchup. I'm going to try that ketchup first. It's not like American ketchup where it's just straight up tomatoes. There are some spices in that we don't have in our American ketchup. That's good. It's like a hybrid between A1 sauce and ketchup. Man, I'm telling you, this is fantastic. Let's give our citrus drink a try here. Still looks a little bit suspect. It's about the right amount of water. Wow, it tastes kind of like a combination of cola and lemon lime. It's not just a straight up lemon lime flavor. Maybe I didn't add enough water to it, or maybe I should have cleansed the palate. Maybe that's it. But I can taste the lemon lime. It's good. Not my #1 drink, but it's not too shabby. Let's get down to the main dish. Here we go. Chicken Italiano. The tomatoes are good. Believe it or not, I could use a little bit of salt in it. You know, the chili con carne at lunch was perfect just the way it was. This needs, I think, a little salt. You know what we're going to do? We're going to add just a little bit of the Tabasco too, because it could use a little punch. I like the punch I had at lunch with the chili con carne, and we're going to add a little of that to here. I'm going to keep it on this half, kind of. And if I like this, we might switch over and add some of that A1 ketchup to the mix as well. This is really good. Okay, first of all, we got to put a little potato in there. Try that. You can taste the chicken, the elbow, macaroni, the tomatoes. It's all really good. It did need a little salt, but man, this is really a good meal all the way around. Wow. I'm telling you guys, this meal, well, all 3 meals. If I'd have been eating like this when I was active duty, I think I'd have come out of the military weighing 250, 300 pounds, because this is good stuff. If this is how you eat in the field, what are you guys eating when you're in battalion, when you're around the chow halls? If this speaks to overall Australian meals, you guys are doing all right in the military. We've got more MREs. Let's get after the next one.